The 2025 Eurovision season is already well underway. We've had our first couple of entries selected, and the national selections are coming thick and fast. One of the most anticipated selections every year is in Estonia, Eesti Laul, and I am joined today by Ant, who will be participating in that selection. Ant, how are you doing today?
Very nice, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I think we've both actually been in the gym this morning.
Yes, you catch
Um,
me mid-traffic, but I'm very happy to be here. I
yeah.
couldn't miss it.
What kind of session was it this morning? Was it like cardio, strength?
All in one, man. I have been doing gym sessions for the last 3 weeks and going on until the February 15th. I have basically every day. I'm basically preparing this role like I don't know any Superman role or any Batman role. So because I would like to be in the best shape possible on the stage.
Yeah.
So this is really important. It's mentally, it's also because this is a competition. So I would like to be competition ready, basically.
100%. It's actually that approach is quite interesting to me because I remember when I was reading through like the first interviews you did when you were announced for the show, um, and you were talking about, the sort of mentality of you're very competitive. There is no plan B. Like you're
Yes,
here
sir.
to win.
Yes,
Like
sir.
that sort of says like you demand the best from yourself. You expect the best from yourself.
Otherwise I could not motivate myself to do the best because it's like my music career is pretty much is all have been built by competitions since I have won the Pop Idol here in Estonia. And I just like this context of winning and being big in the stage. I know this year competition is pretty hard. I acknowledge that. I know we have a final boss with name Tommy Cash. It's everybody's fanning him, which is okay. He's a pretty damn good artist. He's a good he's an artist. Like I couldn't say about him as a singer, but he's a good artist. But in the end, we will decide who will win by live performances. So that's where I'm preparing myself for it. But everybody is doing this way. But I just like to be the best.
Yeah,
Like
of
I'm so
course.
cute, but I want to be best.
I sort of I understand the feeling, and the thing is there's this kind of like there's the positive and the negative side of because I feel I sort of operate in quite a similar way where it's like you demand the best and it makes you produce better standard of work, it makes you work hard, but also it can mean the flip side of that is that you can be super hard on yourself, right? How do you manage like some of the negative emotions that come when you set the standards so high?
So I know from my life experience, I have been 26, 7 years old, and I have not demanded anything out of myself. And now I know that it's the time because life will not give me these chances multiple times. So I have to be ready. I have to demand because by nature, I'm a very lazy person. I know this for fact. And believing in myself also something that I have picked up very late in life. I mean, there is a thin line being cocky and confident and just being nice to yourself, believing in yourself and confident. And that's the second line is the line that I'm trying to take. I'm learning, but the way I go, and I just hope for the best. Like, but without believing in yourself, without being demanding out of yourself, by sitting in this chair, I will never get anywhere, even
Hmm.
though it's a car. so, uh, so the figure of speech goes that way. I will not sit. I will just take the next step. Just I will just do the action because otherwise we just plan, don't do anything.
Hmm. So when it comes to specifically that thinking of Eurovision, um, I remember when you I watched an interview you did with Eurovision Turkey,
Mhm.
which was really fascinating. There's a few different things I want to touch on, and we're going to delve a bit deeper into it in a minute. But firstly,
Yes,
very
sir.
much just on the surface level, you
Yes, sir.
mentioned one of my favorite Eurovision entries of all time, which was Dum Tek Tek by
Wow.
Hadis. I wanted to
Yeah.
ask if there were any other sort of Eurovision entries that you remember from a kid when you were a kid that watching it that inspired you, that made you
I
want
think
to do this.
when Eurovision, that when Turkey won, I think I was 8 years old or something. So that was the age that I start growing liking to Eurovision overall. Not because we won it, but I mean the song was catchy I think Serta Berener was every way that I can. That song was catchy and it was on the radio, and then it just kept me watching when it was in Turkey in 2004. And a few songs from there, Ruslana song did obviously as a winner did stay on my mind. I don't know why, but the Greek song, the Sakis Roy, was shake, 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 shaking a more.
Yes, that's a favorite among Eurovision fans. Go to any Eurovision night out, you will hear that song at some point.
I mean that stayed with us a lot. I mean the Turkish and Greek culture are very similar, very
Hmm.
similar. I think that's why the instrumental did play a huge part. I'm actually from the northeast side of Turkey. I mean was born and raised in Istanbul, but my family ancestry is from there. And when in 2005 Helena Paparizou, or I will not be able to pronounce her name, but did one with the number one, and they did our folk dance in this dance break section, and I was like, no, it's Turkish thing, no, it's not Greek, with this usual drama. Nowadays, I'm grown up and I don't care about it. I find this fascinating event that she did this, and I will not go to history because these places are somehow connected with each other. So, but I mean that song. Obviously, I'm living in North now, and if you just heart like hallelujah, if you're not mentioning this, they will take my residence permit away. And what else?
And don't
I mean,
forget Dave Benton and Tanel Padar.
yes, sir. By then, I think I was 7, and I was not like I didn't watch them live, but now living in Estonia, there is not being exposed to this.
Mm.
So I love the song now, even though I didn't listen back then. And for the Turkish entries, I think even though Turkey, in my personal opinion, had some ridiculous songs, but some really good songs as well. I think in every country we can say that. And I think 2009, I think was Hadise Düm Tek Tek. And she was sick. We had really high hopes on that song actually, but she was sick in live performance, and she couldn't perform. And but my personal favorite was 2010, I think, or 11, when Manga did join We Could Be the Same.
Manga.
That song,
Robbed. Should have
yeah,
won.
that song.
Should have won.
Yes. Okay, good. Germany, all loved, love Germany. But sorry, Lena. Sorry. Like Satellite was cute song, but was not a winner. But we cannot choose this. We cannot choose who
Mm.
will win. The public, bro. You and me cannot choose, but yeah,
Yeah.
public does it.
Yeah.
So I all respect to that. But other than that, like I mean, the Conchita Wurst, like all the winners, I think from Portugal also. I think we had quite astonishing artists coming up out of like Måneskin now, Damiano David living his own dream life right now. I think the Eurovision stage, when you use it correctly, which I intend to do, I don't I don't necessarily want like a personal gain out of this because I owe everything I did to Estonia. Estonia
Hmm.
made me who I am, and I just want to pay this back. But I mean, of course, if I do well there, here in Eesti Laul and there in Eurovision, I'm just happy. Like Alika did, like the others did, like La Forza did. I mean, it's just I
Hmm.
don't know. It's quite dreamy place. Even after years and years, just Eurovision is it's just dream place. I just cannot not
Hmm.
think about it. Like
So,
even as a child, even as an adult, it's super
yeah.
amazing that it's like that.
So, quick change of setup, and we're back. We're gonna pick up where we left off, and we're gonna talk about some of the difficulties that come. You spoke about, wanting to make Estonia proud, and being really thankful for, what Estonia has done for your career. I wanted to ask, moving to Estonia when you did in 2017, 2018, how was it as somebody who's also moved to a new country and found it really, really difficult? How did you cope with that experience? How was it for you in that initial period?
I mean, thank God I had my partner with me, which she was Estonian and still is, and uh, and I think that helped me tremendously because like otherwise, like I mean, even though we were living together for I think 3 years back then, It was only 3 years. I was exposed to the language, how she spoke with her parents, and she kept talking about the culture. And I mean, I knew myself a few stuff. So I had some like short-term friends from there and so on. So it wasn't very hard for me to pick up the culture and how it is. And even though I'm from Turkey, it obviously doesn't mean we belong where we're born heartfully. So I think I found my real home when I came here, regardless of my wife being from here, because I
Mm.
think if she would have a choice, she would live in Turkey. Actually, currently she's in Turkey for a month long, and she will come back to support me in Estival. And my kids are there also.
So
Yeah.
it's like you're in some sort of like boxing style, sort of pre-fight, like training
Yes,
camp
sir.
for a month,
Yes,
like all
sir.
by yourself, total
Yes,
focus.
vocals, all staging, all with the body, all with the costume. You cannot imagine how serious I take this. Like I cannot eat, I cannot drink even more or less water right now than what I supposed to. Like I like to drink Coca-Cola Zero so much. When I look at you, I see a glass bottle of Coca-Cola, but I cannot. But I cannot. I really want this, man. I really want this. But anyway, back to topic. I would say that helped me a lot, and the language somehow was so similar, even though we are in different parts of the world. I'm not that far, but still far enough. But again, since I have lived here so long, I have made my research. Actually, Turkish language, Hungarian language, Estonian language, Finnish language, and even some today's Asian languages are siblings with each other. They're
Mm.
very related. So I didn't have, so to say, from a Turkish background, I didn't have to learn like I'm learning German, for example. It was much easier. It was all different, but somehow made sense. All the grammatic part of it, it just made sense.
This is interesting for me because the thing is with Estonian and Finnish are commonly considered among the hardest languages to
Hmm.
learn for first language English speakers because there's lots of
Yeah,
structures that
yeah,
just don't exist in English, right?
yes, sir.
And I'm guessing are there some more
Same.
similarities in Turkish
Yeah,
in terms of
exactly
they
the
do things in
same.
the same
We
way?
don't have genders. We don't. We keep adding stuff. It's just like I can make out of one sentence. Are you one of those that we couldn't make Czechoslovakian? I can say this in one word in Turkish, just one word. I just
Mm,
keep adding stuff and then hear this sentence for you. Like
yeah.
this is weird, but it's somehow related. I don't know how. I mean, I know how, but I don't think people want to hear from me 2 minutes, 3 minutes talking the history of it. But they are related somehow, and it gave me such a boost. And if I when I started, I mean, the first 2 years when I lived here, I was working in an international environment. I had to speak only English. Nobody expected me to speak Estonian, rather than my wife's parents.
Hmm.
But I mean, then I start singing classes. Then I start listening to songs. Then it just picked up very quickly, very quickly. Now I just sit in front of you. They crown me as their superstar, and that's the format's name here. I'm just like from the very bottom of my heart. They just made me who I wanted to be as a kid, and nobody in Turkey had even single effort in this. So
Mm.
this is I belong here. Like even though I don't have, I mean, I wasn't born here. I don't have piercing blue eyes. I have green eyes. I hope it works. I mean, just how you look shouldn't matter anyway. But I mean,
Mm.
I feel from here, so to say.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing is that where you belong and where you come from, like you just
Yeah.
sometimes go to places and just think, yeah, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where I'm meant to be. So I really relate to that. One
I mean, the
interesting thing though is,
click is very important. If you get the
mm,
click, then the rest doesn't matter.
one interesting thing, and I was I was very fortunate, in the last year to have, been able to really engage with a lot of different people in the industry and some of your colleagues at Universal and so on. And one thing that was mentioned to me is that the sort of mannerisms of Estonians, the sort of, like the subtext, like how people interpret things can be a little bit different. And you're quite a direct person, right? You get to the point,
Yeah.
you know. Did you find that are Estonians similar to that? Are they different?
I mean, yes. I kind of mirror a lot also because you become what you eat, and it's the same approach here. You just keep exposed to the same thing, and you become this. But I think overall, I keep remembering having like Turks are like Americans. They just like all Southerns are like Americans. They just talk nice. You have to have the right tone all the time. But like the message is not important. How you say is very important.
Same with the British. Yeah,
Yes,
exactly the same.
and they often talk behind you. They often, I mean, I often was even in my family considered that you know too much. Like you go do yourself. I mean that was kind of approach was always on me because I never hold back what I think I know, and if it made sense to me, I just out loud said it, and I think here they appreciate this a lot. They don't want you to like even though I am such a person that who just thinks of 100 words at the same time, they just want you to be the summarized version of your idea. Just put it out there. You don't have to be nice to me, I don't have to be nice to you, but actually they are very nice at the same time. Like this old shell seems like sometimes my wife looks at me like in this face, and I ask her, "Why do you look at me that way?" And she's like, "Oh, that's my I love you face." Like, I mean, it's hard to interpret, but yeah,
Let's close off with a question related to you and your music.
yes, sir.
What's coming up? Obviously, you've got Eesti Laul, hopefully Eurovision. Are you
Mhm.
planning on releasing an album? Are you going to go on tour? What's in the works at the moment?
I mean, these things are hand in hand. To be perfectly honest, we're living in statistically driven world, and these has to just they're just hand in hand. These things. I obviously, as an artist, wanna put out an album. Of course, I do my preparations like it's gonna happen, but it doesn't matter when, so to say. But I mean, direct answer would be yes. I have my plans. I just wanna be more visible in global world. I just want to be more visible in, I hope people will resonate. That's the first step. Otherwise there's not much of push needed if you don't have any other ideas how to be resonated in the future.
Mm.
Thank God I have my plans. I have my computer is full of ideas, full of songs, full of how I could be perceived as. So I mean, I have my plans, but I mean, just stay tuned. I would say that I would say. But I mean, do you want to know more about what kind of music I would like to
Yes, please.
make?
Any details? Any details that
Any
you are like
details?
able to give now?
I
We
mean,
want it all.
in a world where this will be like a number out of my ass, but like in a world in every day there is a hundred thousands of new music coming from Spotify. I don't think as an artist, and especially in today's world with TikTok and so on, currently all this mockery, all this ridiculism, these type of music keeps working. Obviously, I'm not the material to execute this perfectly. I
Mhm.
would call myself as a pop artist generically, but I don't like to be like fit it in some kind of categorization. I don't belong exactly anywhere. I because I feed from lots of things. I have my micro noted very authentic Turkish side. I have my Nordic side. I work with a lot of Swedes. Like I just like to harmonize all of these things. And I just sometimes I like Scotch beat. Sometimes I like ballads. Like I kind of like am Billie Eilish. Like one day I can do bad guy, da, 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 and one day I will just make you cry, like because that's who I am. I kind of little bit Lewis Capaldi, Lewis little bit. I love Guy Sebastian. Do you know Guy Sebastian
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Australia?
yeah.
He's my favorite. Thanks to him and his inspiration, I think I won superstar here. Like he is a big influence on me. He doesn't know me. If you're watching, Guy, hit it up. Just
Yeah.
hit it up. I love you, man.
Well, he'll see.
But
You might see him at Eurovision. He's rumored to be in the running to participate for Australia this year. So maybe.
don't make me sad. If I can't go, then I will be very sad because Australia is far away. Me going there is harder than he coming there. So I have to. Okay, guys, Now let's just raise the promotion. I need to be in Eurovision if Guy Sebastian is there. And I promise you, I will not let him win if we go head to head. I will still win, but I will still
Okay.
love him. But anyway, I mean, so to say, I just don't like to be in some stuck in some genre. You could see me releasing music that will make you dance, your feet tired, and just. But my trump, I think, lives in the fact that I can give you goosebumps and I can make you cry. And the bigger the stage is, bigger the spotlight is, the more I shine. Seems to be. Let's see how
Hmm.
it will be in the end.
Definitely with this song, it feels like the kind of song that
Yeah.
fills up the room. I'm really excited to see what you
Yeah,
do with it live.
everybody's excited to see this the last part, if the
Hmm.
last note will come alone or not.
That's what all the gym sessions are for. So to give
Yeah.
you maximum cardio, maximum
Yeah.
breath control
Yeah.
for that moment.
I can't feel any of this currently, but when I hit the stage, I will be all my core muscles will be ready to push this through.
Hmm.
And I can promise you, I'll have invited the most legendary back vocalists, so the sound will be thick with double C.
Excellent. Well, we can't wait to see it. Any Estonians watching, remember, if you want to see Ant at Eurovision, he needs your vote. Make sure to vote. The final of SD Laul this year is on the 15th of February, which is a month to the day from this
Yes,
recording.
sir. 30 days. 30 days.
30 days away. And thank you so, so much for joining us. We really, really appreciate it.
I appreciate it, Gabe. Thank you so much.
We're going to be on the ground at SDLAL this year. I'm going to be there. So make sure you're subscribed to ESC United to get all of the updates first. And I'm really excited to see you there. I'm really excited to see what you bring to that stage.
Thank you, sir. I'm so excited as well. And I hope to see you there, Gabe. Yeah, I couldn't talk, but okay, that's fine.
That's fine.